to the conclusion of Samantha v. Brian. We had exciting matches if you caught the previous one. Brian won the first. No, wait. Yeah, Brian won the first one. And then Samantha uh, was launching a giant attack on Brian's pieces. Brian was running out of moves, missed a couple opportunities to capture some attacking pieces, and then at the last second, with Samantha having zero point 0.8 seconds on the clock, resigned, which was just incredible. It's bringing it to 1-1. Now we have the conclusion of Samantha v. Brian with a 3-minute tiebreaker game that starts up with Brian playing d4 here. Okay, and Samantha plays the England Gambit. The idea being that Black is sacrificing a pawn and maybe has some ideas of getting a quick attack going on White's pieces here. And Brian doesn't take the gambit. Says, I don't believe it's a free pawn. Not going to take it. 3-minute game here. This is going to go fast. Okay, Samantha throws in a check. And this we can just block. But Brian chooses to block with the bishop. And now both the bishop and the pawn are hanging, so you have to make a decision. You have to do something. Samantha doesn't address it, leaves the bishop hanging. So now Brian could just capture this, and he does. He sees it. Okay, Samantha develops another piece, attacking the bishop. Brian, unafraid, attacks the knight right back, even though the bishop's hanging. So Samantha now best move to take the bishop, and finds it. So that evens out the game again. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on both. We have knight developed, castle, captures a piece. Nothing really going on here. This attacks the knight, so now the knight's gonna have to find a new place to go. There's a bunch of open squares to choose from. You can't go to the d6 here because the queen sees it. Although the knight defends it, it's easy to kick out the defense of that knight. The knight would have to move, and then the other knight would fall. So while it looks safe, this is not a safe square for the knight. And moving back here just seems really sad. So probably one of these other two squares are going to be the choices. Doesn't address the attacked piece, and so now Brian's got an opportunity to capture it. Doesn't see it, goes for a different attack. This piece is defended twice here, or attacked twice now. It's only defended once, so it could just be captured, and it is. And Brian now probably needs to capture this knight, but misses the idea, goes for attack on the bishop. The bishop can be captured, or the pawn can be captured both ways here, so it's not a huge threat. Can be captured by the rook here as well. So it's okay. I like this move, attacking the knight, centralizing the queen. Queen in the center is a very strong piece. But at the moment, Samantha's got all the advantage here. This actually, unfortunately, walks into a technical or a tactic with knight takes c2, and the problem is that there's a three-way fork here, and hits the queen, the king, and the rook, and something's going to fall. So while it's good to have a center square, in this case the knight's control of the c2 square is problematic. Samantha doesn't see it, and gives Brian another chance to respond. Maybe capturing that knight now that it's under attack, which happens, and now we have an even game again. We've got knight developing, attacking the queen. Queen's got to find a place to go, and captures the what is this? The b7 pawn here, and the b7 pawns can be tricky because sometimes you can just bring the knight out. The queen's got to move, and then the rook. Sorry, I said knight. I meant rook. The rook captures the pawn on the other side, so it's not always a free pawn in the corners here. What else do we have? Bishop c6 here is really nice. Adding a defender to the rook, which isn't really, it's already defended by the queen. Just attacking the queen and kicking it out. Connecting the queen and the rook, maybe with ideas of coming into to the back here later. We had a similar idea to attack the queen and kind of kick it out. But this one has a problem where you can capture the knight because the rook moving undefended the knight. Brian finds it. This attack is defended by the bishop. But now Brian's winning again. Okay, and he sacrifices the queen for the rook, which gives us an even game again. A lot of back and forth here. We have a knight developing, attacking the bishop. Probably developing to the center was a better idea, and keeping control of the d1 square there a little bit. But this bishop's trying to cut off the diagonal of the king, and there could be some threats there. We've got rook coming out defending the bishop, and probably white wants to take it anyway, because after this trade, black loses control of this diagonal. Maybe a better move is just dropping it back, keeping control of the diagonal, not letting the knight out, not giving it the option of trading pieces. White goes ahead and does that. We have this, attacking the queen. Good choice. We have a potential back rank mate issue here, so if you don't address the queen, then you're going to lose in one move here. So Samantha sees it, moves the queen out of the way, attacks the b2 pawn. It's attacked twice now, so you can't just go back and defend it because it's going to be ineffective. We're down to 1 minute and 30 seconds for Brian. Develops to attack the rook, but also cutting off the diagonal of the queen, but the rook can still capture, so really hard to save that pawn. It doesn't capture the piece though. Maybe has other plans. And we have h4 here. Probably castles is a good move to keep the king safe. h4 is another way to activate this rook. And Samantha blunders, not seeing that the pawn is defended by the rook in behind it. This now is going to be hard to come back from. This is a double threat, a very nice double threat of threatening both the rook and the back rank mate. And so this move opens up space for the king to get out, so he's not going to get back rank mated. Maybe a slightly better move was just f6. Then if knight takes, the pawn can at least take back, and you're not losing the piece for nothing. Another move, best move is rook to e8, just moving all the way back, guarding against the back rank mate, and keeping the rook out of danger. Throws the check in anyway, captures the rook with check now. It's really strong. Another check. And knight's being attacked, defends the knight, but unfortunately this one drops the rook. Samantha misses it, and it's going to be difficult to do anything at this point. We have a check. King's running out of spaces. Can't go here. Can't go here. These are blocked by pawns. If you can get a rook maybe to this corner here, the game's over. Okay, we got some shuffling here to get pieces in. This plan is to take the pawns this way because the king can't defend them. And yeah, it looks like this is the end of the game. And it looks like somebody lost on time. Oh, actually, oh sorry, I made a mistake here. The last move of the game was this check, and Samantha lost on time here. The rest is just moves that were added by analysis, saying that this is how the game could have continued on. Okay, but last move was right here with a check, and the problem is Samantha's only got 5 seconds left on the clock. You have to find a move, and so that's it. That means Brian's our winner, and he's going to be going on to the next round. See ya.